Kogan, Scratt's continental breakup.
When Scratt hits the ice, it starts to crack. So to prevent trouble, Scratt grabs some ice to place back into the small hole as his acorn had made. When Scratt merely touches the ice with the tip of his acorn, it ends up instantly breaking the entire mountain below the ice cap. Scratt gets his acorn and falls into the rift. Passing by the dinosaur world, where he sees a weasel named Buck mounting his dinosaur nemesis Rudy, or Barnyarks. While he goes and ends passing through all of Earth's layers, eventually arriving at the metasphere, which encompasses the iron core while pursuing his acorn. Scratt makes the core split and brings Pangea into the contemporary countries like Australia, creating giraffes by making their necks
Looks like
stretch,
Pangea.
while
Wow, he
Africa is being
broke the
separated,
whole
and
continents.
making the boot-shaped interior passing.
So it looks like Scrat's nut, cracked up the whole tectonic plates.
Kicked another island, exited by a screw. Go! During explosion. Scrat eventually trips and starts bumping between the spear and the installed islander, creating like a scrat-like mole, a scrat spit, which loses his nose when it falls off. And four Scrat faces on Mount Rushmore. Scrat later picks up balance and grabs his acorn, but ends up spinning in the core until he's thrown out of the rift into the upper Espor. While falling, Scrat pushes his body as if he would fall to the sea, but ends up crushing on a piece of ice, which breaks in half, which separates Scrat from his acorn. Scrat then persists to scream in frustration. Later on during the day, Scrat was found to be still floating on his ice floe until he spots an island. He rows to the island and takes a rest at the bottom of a coconut tree. Scrat disposed of the skeleton of a de-skis saber-toothed squirrel. He becomes scared and then jumps away. Later, he forgets the skeleton. He follows the discased saber-toothed squirrel's arm and sees an acorn very deep underwater. Scrat then comes up with a plan. The plan was to jump into the water while holding a rod to make him heavy enough to sink quickly. All the way down, Scrat's physical features and his entire body becomes very thin due to the crushing pressure of the water. He picks up the acorn and realizes it's only half an acorn. Becoming disappointed, he turns to the back of the acorn, sees that it has pictures. He follows where the picture leads to and finds out that the acorn is a treasure map to get to an island full of acorns. Scrat gasps of joy, but loses his oxygen until he hurries and catches a few of the molecules to suck back up and go and gain them back. Scrat starts to follow where the map takes him. All of a sudden, a murderous skeleton slices through the acorn a little bit, with its sharp spear-like snout almost touching Scrat's throat. With a flash, Scrat is pulled by the underwater while crashing into a seaweed, a salmon, and a crab until he finally comes out of the ocean and crashes into an ice floe. While dressed up like a mermaid, the murderous skeleton was revealed to be the ultra-fragile ice floe that was hidden beneath, much to Scrat's surprise.